Good evening, Roehampton Club. This is Susanne with Thursday evening Pilates class. A 45-minute session tonight. You're going to need a chair, preferably one with a back. You're going to need a chair also without wheels, please. It needs to be nice and solid. You need a block or a couple of cookbooks. That would be great too, for underneath the head. Then a couple of light hand weights and either a stretch band that you make a knot in or a looped band that's already looped. If you haven't got those things, that looped band, then don't worry, you can do it without any stretch bands. And the light is getting better every Thursday, so I've got the curtains open and I can see a lovely sunset out there. So because the artificial light just isn't as good as having beautiful daylight. Good. I just need to move that, otherwise I'll hit my head on it. Stand nice and tall. Look at the horizon, place your feet parallel. Make sure that you just check quickly that your workspace is nice and safe. And that you've got enough space to move. And then start with big shoulder rolls backwards. In through the nose and out through pursed lips. And just arriving and getting in the mood of doing a bit of exercise. Perfect. Then we're going to add the elbows to the shoulder rolls and we're going backwards only backwards. And really pull back, so it's that backwards motion that I'm after. Good, and then you're going to give me long arms. Breathe out as you do this. Pull the tummy and tuck the tail between your legs. You've got 2 more round ones. Good, and then bring the arms forward in line with your shoulders. And now you're going to open up diagonally. Breathe out. Really pull those arms back as far as you can. So you're feeling the chest opening up with each one. Not forgetting to engage the core. Breathe out. Breathe in. And again, breathe out. And breathe in. You've got 4 more. Stretch it out. And again, stretch it out. 2 more to go. Open up. And last one. Open up. Good, and bring it to your side. Lift the arms up and start with your gentle rotations through the rib cage, keeping those hips facing forward. So the aim here is to move from the hips to the crown of the head. So please make sure you turn your head as well as your spine, but try to keep the hips fairly facing forward. However, if you've got tension in your back, if it hurts if you rotate, then ease off a little bit. Allow the hips to move. Also, if you've got osteoporosis, don't force it. Just a nice gentle rotation. And look over your shoulder. Good, you've got 1 more on each side. One last one. And bring it back to the center. Bring the arms to your side. You're now going to start pulsing your hands towards your thighs. Pull the shoulders back. Good, and make sure you're still breathing. Really lengthen those fingertips down towards the floor. Good, you're now going to turn the palms forward. Palms forward. Make sure you don't start wiggle through the upper body. So from the hip to the shoulders, keep it nice and still. Keep breathing. Good, now you're going to turn the palms backwards. Keep going quite vigorously, like you do for the 100. Just warming up through the core. Through the shoulders. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big shoulder rolls backwards. Beautiful. Good. We're now going to come forward with a straight back. Send your tail back. Then come on up. Lift your arms up and extend. Good. That's your option for osteoporosis. If you haven't got osteoporosis, you can bring your chin to the chest. You roll down. Lift your tailbone up, feel the stretch in your hamstrings and calves. Come back to the top, and everybody can do this one. Lift the arms up and stretch it backwards. Make sure that you're breathing. Let's go again. Inhale. Exhale, chin to chest. Lift your tail up, nice and low. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale to come back up again. Lift your arms and extend. Come on, let's do that one more time. I feel like I'm not quite done yet. I need to do it once more. Take it down. Come to the top. Lift up and extend. Good work. And bring the arms to your side. Good. Take the chair and place it behind your bum cheeks and then sit down. So once again, you don't want the chair that has got wheels on. So it has to be a nice solid chair. Feet are hip width apart at the comfortable distance away from the chair. Bring the arms forward in a straight line. Draw the belly in and stand up. Same amount of weight on both of your bum cheeks. And then come back down again. Go again. Come up. Make sure the shoulders don't hike up as you stand up. So pull the shoulders down, breathe out, and come up. Bring it back down again. Good. So at the moment, we're working on that range of movement. We're sitting down, and then we're coming back up again. Good. Now what we're going to do, we're going to reach back. We're going to touch the seat of our chair, and we come back up. So we're not placing any weight on our bum cheeks. Just the skin of our bottom touches the chair, and lift back up again. Good. Let's do a few more. Don't put any weight on it. Come straight back up. And again, no weight on it. Come straight back up. Good. And you've got 4 more. 4. And 3. And 2. Last one. And 1. And come back up. Well done. Good. Hold on to the chair with one of your hands and turn your feet inwards. So your heels are almost touching, your toes are facing out. The arms above the head in a semicircular way. Good. The chair is there if you need it. If you don't need it, don't hold on to it and take that down. So we're coming off our heels and we're bringing it down again. We're coming off our heels and we bring it down. Your aim here is to lift and lower without holding on to the chair, or just holding on with one finger. Good. We're now going to make this slightly more challenging just by bringing the arms to the side and then raise it back up again. Arm to the side and raise it back up. Good. Keep going. Arm to the side. Raise it back up. Good. We're now going to hold it at the top. Raise up and hold. Give me 12 little pulses here. So drop your heels a little bit and lift back up. 1 and 2 and 3. Pull the arm back a little bit more. 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, 9, 10. A little bit higher up. 11. Last one. And 12. And bring your heels down. Bring the arms to your side. Perfect. Shake out the legs for a moment. And place your feet facing forward next. Again, we're having the chair there in case you need it. Hand on the hip. Bring the leg that's furthest away from the chair out to your side. Good. And then simply lift the leg up and set it back onto the floor. Lift it up and set it down. Good. If you can, hold on to both of your waists. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. Good. Now, to make it harder, you don't touch the floor anymore. So you lift and you lower. No floor contact. Good. Pull the tummy in, pull your shoulders back. Yeah, make sure you're nice and close to that chair, just in case you need to hold on to it suddenly. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. And bring that leg down. Good. Shake it out again. Take the chair, place it over to the other side. Stand on one leg, leg out, and start lifting and lowering. Good. The standing leg needs to engage. If you can, let go of the chair. But make sure you're nice and close to it in case you need to quickly hold on to it. Okay, keep going. Breathe out as you lift. Breathe in to take it down. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and 1. And bring that leg down. Good. Shake it out once more. Bring the chair over to the other side again and widen your legs. Widen your legs. Good. Your toes are facing outwards. You're going to bring the arms forward and then you're going to give me a little plie. Take it down and back up again. Your knees need to track with your big toe and your second toe. So take it down and up. Good. Really widen those knees. I can't go very low down, but if you can go lower down, then please do. So take it down. Pull the tail back as you do this. So make sure when you come down, you're not coming forward. when you come down into your little plie, you pull the tail backwards. You pull the tail backwards, the knees outwards towards the big toes and the second toe. Good. We're now going to go into a plie and we're bringing the arms up over the head. And then we're going to do a big circle back down to our belly button. Take it down, up. Big circle down to the belly button. So if you want to make this harder, make this a lot deeper. Not as shallow as mine. Make them much, much deeper, those pliés. Big plie. And around. Good. Now start speeding it up. Take it down. Come on up. And again, take it down. Look at the horizon. You've got 4 and 3 and 2. Last one and 1. Beautiful, good. Some of you have legs that aren't quite wide enough, so you really need to be wider than your shoulders. So open them up a little bit more. We're now going to interlace our hands and we're going to turn the palms forward. We're going to do a little stretch between the shoulder blades and we're going to come down. Now we're going to do a pulse down here. Really use the inner thighs, use your bum cheeks. Feel the stretch in your shoulders. You've got 12, 11. If you want to make it harder, bring it lower down. And 10, 9. Feel the inner thighs. Feel your bum cheek. Make sure you engage the correct muscles. We've got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And come to the top. Turn your feet slightly further forward and give me a side extension. Lovely side extension, gliding the fingertips down the seams of your trousers, but at the same time lengthening the spine rather than feeling depth. Good, we're now going to lift the arm up. We're stretching over the midline. Over to the other side. Breathe out. Pull it back, breathe in. Breathe out over to the other side. Good, one more on each side. Breathe out. Last one. And breathe out. Wonderful. Bring the arms to your side and walk together and come onto the floor. You don't need the chair anymore. So please make yourself down. If you're down before me, start with your cat-cow. Cat-cow, please. Nice big spinal movement. Just need to close my curtains. Because if I have the curtains open, it's very light in here with my 3 different light sources. And I find that the walkaby sometimes stop and watch me. Feel a bit exposed. So I have to quickly close those curtains. Pull you a little bit close. So cat-cow, please, on all fours. On all fours. Making sure that you breathe nicely. Find the biggest range of movement. Last one. And come into neutral. Good, just check that your knees are underneath the hips. Then we're going to go into our thread the needle. So make sure that you really check your neutral spine. So the tail tucks in, the shoulders pull down, and the back of your head is lifted. A gentle rotation to start off with. See if you can tap the forehead on the floor, look over the shoulder, and then lift it up and stretch it out. Make sure you don't hold your breath. And then we go over to the other side. So find the rotation. You inhale to pull back and you exhale to open up. Good, keep going with this. So make sure that you don't force and you don't push anything, but at the same time, you need to try to feel the motion. Make sure that your spine is beautifully lengthened. So what you don't want to do, you don't want to rotate with a humped back, with an arched back. particularly important if you have osteoporosis. You want to try to find a pure rotation here without that flexion through the spine. Good. And now if you want, you can intensify the feeling, but always within the limits of your breathing. So if it takes your breath away, you're pushing too hard. No pushing. You should be able to breathe. Should start to ease off. Let's do one more on each side. Look over that shoulder as far as you can take it. You've got one more. Take your time. Lift it up. And bring it down. And then just give me a couple more of these cat-cows. Good. And then let's take it onto our backs. Let's take it onto our back. But before you go all the way down, so you either have a looped band or you can take your stretch band, wrap it around the top of your thighs, just below the knees, and make a knot there. If you haven't got a stretch band, don't worry, the exercise will still be felt, just not quite as intense. Good, and then we're going to line our backs, and you're going to start your pelvic tilts whilst we wait for everybody to get ready. Only place a towel underneath your head if you think that your neck hurts, if you lie on the floor without anything, or if the chin keeps popping away from your chest. So you need to be able to pull your chin towards your chest. Breathe out and inwardly pull everything together. So lift that pelvic floor, pull your tummy in and breathe out, all at the same time. Making sure we don't clench our bum cheek. So what this does to pelvic tilts is strengthens our core, our lower back, but also it really helps to understand where the body is in space, which is really important to know where we are in space so we can execute the movement with more precision. Now I'm going to imprint the lower back, and then from imprint, we're slowly peeling away from the floor, and make sure you really use your shoulder muscles to pull downwards. So there's absolutely no weight bearing into individual vertebrae. The whole weight, the bulk of your will, is held by your feet and your shoulders. And then bring it back down again. So particularly important with osteoporosis, make sure that you use your shoulders wisely, you use your feet wisely so the spine can move between the feet and the shoulders with the most lightness. So there is no individual forcing into the floor. Good. Once you're at the top, feel how you're opening up the front of your hips, the thighs, the hip flexors. Inhale, exhale, bring it back down again. Looks good. Let's do one more. Good, and then we're going to look at this position. So we're now in an extended bridge. I don't mind if you're not at perfectly extended, so if you need to come down a little bit, but make sure that you do your best to come as high up as you can. Tuck the tail in. We're now going to keep our hips perfectly still. On the movement, on the exhale, we are going to bring one knee out to the side and then bring it back to the center, and then you swap over to the other knee. The leg that isn't doing anything is the one that's stabilizing everything. So you should try to do these movements, these hip stabilizers, with as little wibbling and wobbling as you can. So nice and quiet and calm. Really use the strength in your torso. Now, if you find that this is too strong, what you can do, you roll it back down again. You bring the hips into neutral, you imprint the hips, and you do it down here with the hips on the floor, and you work on exactly the same thing. You work on trying to keep those hips as still as you can together with your torso. So you've got two options, either on the floor or up in the air in a bridge position. Do make sure if you're in the bridge position that you feel your bum cheeks engaging. Because if the bum cheeks don't engage, I can tell you your back will, and that is the wrong engagement. We're not looking for the back to start to hurt. We want to burn those bum cheeks, the back of our thighs, and the calves. Keep going. Let's do 4 more. And 3. And 2. Last one and 1. Bring it back to the center, inhale. And then exhale to roll it down, all the way down onto the floor. Good, and then pull your knees to the chest for a moment and feel the stretch in your lower back, in your thighs, bum cheeks. Just hold it there. Good. Then we bring our knees and our feet together. We bring the arms out to the side and we find a twist stretch. So this twist stretch here happens from sort of the rib cage downwards. So you know the thread, the needle we did at the beginning, that was a twist from the rib cage upwards. This one now is from the rib cage down. So keep those shoulders on the floor if you can. That will also give you a pec stretch, so your chest can stretch out, particularly if you lengthen your fingertips away from your shoulder joints. Find more movement, but make sure you're not forcing anything. So bringing those knees from side to side. Your thighs are super glued, your knees are super glued, and your feet are stacked. That's your optimal position. A few more here. Couple to go. Hopefully we'll have released by now. Last one. And bring that back to the center. Good. Can we please roll onto our side? Roll onto the side and take your block. We still got that band around our thigh, so we're going to make the most of it. You're going to stack yourself, please. Back of the head, shoulders, bum, and your feet as well. And then extend the top leg. Press the bottom knee into the floor and make sure you've got a nicely lifted waist. From here, we're going to lift the leg up and bring it back down again. So work against the band. Good. Keep going with that. Lift that leg up and bring it down. Good. So what I need to see now is really long legs. Really, really long legs. So extend the leg until the waist lifts away from that floor. Good. Try to breathe out as you go up. Breathe out and breathe in. Good. We're going to do 3 more here. 1 and 2. We're going to do 1 more. And 3. Good. We're now going to bend our knee. Place the legs together again. Good. And now we're going to lift the whole leg up, but in a bent position, and bring it down again. So now the leg comes up. You copy the shape of the bottom leg and lift. Again, we're trying to find that bum cheek. We're trying to find that engagement into our belly button. There's a pelvic tilt going on. So tuck your tail between your legs gently. Lift your breastbone up. Pull your shoulders back. Bring the back of your head back for good posture. Are we breathing? I know, lots of instructions. Looking good, everybody. Keep going. Nice. You've got 2 more. You've got 1 more. Beautiful. And then bring those legs together for another quick break. This time we're going to bring the knees nice and close to our chest. So bring those knees forward. I now have a 90-degree angle in my hip joint and a 90-degree angle in my knee joint. And then I'm going to lift the leg up right there. So it's a slightly different area of my bum cheek working. I find this one the hardest one of them. Keep going. Really pull that tummy in. Work against the band. Again, if you haven't got a band, just give me the biggest range that you've got and make sure you're working into that bum cheek. Good. Let's do 4 more. And 3. 2. Last one, biggest one. And 1. Good job. Good. Now listen carefully. Take your band and take the top leg out of your band. Just the top leg. Then grab your boxer block and place your hand behind your head. So now the arm, the hand, is supporting the head, and lengthen both of your legs. Then you're going to take the block and you're going to place it. I'm going to put it the short side down, so it's taller. So not the big side, but the short side. Right in front of my hip. And then I'm going to place my top leg, my top thigh on top of it. So it's resting at hip height. Make sure that you're not leaning forward or backwards. Good. And now extend the bottom leg. So now we're going to work the inner thigh off the bottom leg. The toes are flexed off the bottom leg. The top leg is nice and relaxed. You're now going to lift that bottom leg up and down. Good. Listen, it will increase the pressure a little bit into your hip joint. So if you find that that is too much, then don't lift the leg up, but lengthen the leg. You're going to give it a little bit of height, not very much. So if you find it's too much, if it digs into the floor a little bit too much, bring that up and down and really engage through the inner thigh. So if you can, lift it up nice and high. Nice and high. Keep the foot flexed. Just check that the back of your head is pulling back. I just had to correct mine. I came forward again. Good, you're going to hold it at the top here. Make sure your feet are flexed. Now turn your heel up, your toe down, and start pulsing. Tiny little pulses here. Making sure you feel this in the right place, in that inner thigh. Keep going, keep going. Good, you've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Good job. Pull both of your knees forward. Come on up. Good. You're now going to pull the knee with the band in front of you in a bent position. And the other leg is bent as well. It's the mermaid position. So if I show you, I unfold them and I fold them in. If you've got dodgy knees, for example, my right leg here is not really appreciative of this position, I'm just going to lengthen that leg. So I'm not going to force anything into my knee. So if you want, you can sit like this with the legs forward. You can even stick the block underneath your bum cheeks if you like. Good. We're going to go into a side to side. So lengthen and stretch. Good. So you've got a hip attached to this hand up here. Pull the hip away from the hand. Feel the stretch in your waist. Good. And then inhale, exhale, pull it up. Hold on to your shin and go over to the other side. This is your short side. It's not going to go very far. Good. Try to work really hard at tracking your arm in line with your ear rather than bringing the arm forward. So if you see the arm, try if you can pull the arm out of your line of vision over to the other side and breathe. Find that lovely motion. Let's go again. Bring it over and stretch. Inhale and exhale. One more time on each side. Last one. Good job. Lovely. And then bring it back to the center. Good. Bring both legs forward. Grab your block and sit on it. Stick it underneath your bum cheeks. Good. Make sure you're nice and right on top of it. So if you haven't got a block, you can sit on a couple of cushions. You can sit on a couple of cookbooks. But I need the height so you can sit nice and upright. Flex your toes. Good. Level 1, hands on your sternum. So it's really important that you do this with a perfectly aligned spine. So perfectly straight spine. Look over your shoulder. Breathe out. Breathe in back to the center. Really pull your tummy in. Look over the shoulder, over to the other side. And back to the center. So if you've got osteoporosis, I'd like you to stay with this. Because I don't want you to force anything. I don't want you to push anything. Just want you to feel a gentle rotation. But the important thing for all of us is that we sit perfectly upright. So if you can't sit perfectly upright, you might even need to bend your knees a little bit. Good. I'm going to make it a little bit harder. So bring the arms out, pull the shoulders gently down your back, and do it like this. Good. And again, if you've got osteoporosis, pick the level 1 with the hands across your chest. rather than the long arms. Then the next progression is a big no-no for anybody with spinal issues. So any osteoporosis, bulging discs, lower back issues. So just stay with this. But if you can, you're going to lean towards your big toe, look underneath the armpit. Come back up again, inhale. And exhale, look underneath the armpit. And back up again. And by the way, it's the armpit where you're leaning into. So if you're leaning to the right leg, you look underneath the right armpit. Don't look underneath the left armpit. Now I lean to the left. I look underneath my left armpit. Good. Let's do a couple more. And you come back to upright every time you do it. Good. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Look underneath the armpit. Come back to the center and bring the arms down. Beautiful. So we're going to start again from the beginning. So come off the block, bring the block over to the other side of your mat, strap yourself back into your band, lie on your side. Lengthen the top leg, point your toe, and start your up and down motion. Really trying to find perfect alignment through the posture. So the heel, the bum, the shoulder, the back of the head. You're breathing out to go up, in to go down. Out to go up, in to go down. And making sure you can always fit a hand underneath your waist. So if you stand upright, you've got the waist coming in, all of you. Even though with males, it's a little bit less pronounced. So I want that waistline, I want that carving away from the floor. 2 more with the long leg. Last one with the long leg. And then bend the knee. Have a quick rest if you need it. And then go straight up and down. So we're not keeping our feet together here. We're lifting the whole leg up. And really what you're trying to find is your bum cheek engage. Lift and lower. Excellent. Keep going. And lift and lower. Keep going. Lift and lower. Really communicate. Brain to bum, cheek, engage. Good posture as well. You've got one more here. Lift. Bring it down. Good. Now bring the knees forward, 90 degrees from the hips, from the knees, and start lifting the leg up here. Making sure the knee is leading. Make sure the knee is pushing against the band. So you're not dragging the knee up with your foot. You're pulling the knee up through the thigh. Good. Oh. This is my weaker side. Oh, okay. Do you have a weaker side? Do you have a side that is just not as strong as the other one? Keep going. You've got 4 more. 4, 3, 2. You've got 1 more. And 1. Bring that up and back down. Well done. Good. Listen, take the band off your legs. You don't need the band anymore around your legs, so take them off. Grab your block. Place your hand underneath your head. Take the block right in front of your hip. Place the top thigh on top and lengthen the bottom leg. Flex the bottom toe and then bring that up and down through the inner thigh. Pulling the tummy in and lifting up only as far as you feel comfortable. Going, lift it up and down, flex your toes. Try to lead up with your heel, turn your toe down. Lead up with the heel. Make sure you breathe out as you lift. You breathe in to go down. Breathe out to lift. Good, you got 2 more, and then I want a little pulse up there. Last one, hold it at the top, and give me little pulses right into that inner thigh. Pull the tummy in, 8, 7, 6, shoulders back, back of the head back, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Good job. Lose your block and come up and sit back into your mermaid position. So now I show you this leg folds inward, that leg folds backwards. See, nice and tall. Again, my operated leg doesn't like it, so I'm going to keep it straight. Over to the side, pull away from the hip. Coming up, lean over to the short side. If you find that you've already done this side, then you need to cross the legs over the other way. And pull the waist away from your hand, opening up. Whole line from the hip into your hand. Go again. Bit of shoulder engagement here as you come down onto that shoulder. Good. Make sure the arm tracks with your ear, not with the front of your face. So keep pulling the arm back if you can. Good. Let's do it one more time on each side. And breathe out. Breathe in. Last one on this side. Breathe out. And relax. Perfect. So we've got some hand weights. Let's use them. So bring them nice and close to your mat. You don't need to use hand weights. They just make it a bit harder. So if you haven't got any, don't worry about it. We're going to come onto our backs. We're going to do 3 pelvic tilts, and then you're going to imprint your lower back. 1, 2, and now you're going to pull that lower back against the mat, pull the tummy in and lift the pelvic floor. You're going to take your hand weights, if you want to use the hand weights, that is, and place the hand weights over the top of your shoulders with your palms facing your thighs. Good, you're going to take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, you move the weight down and back up again. Good, so your job here, when you drop the hand weights down, is to keep the rib cage on the floor. So you want to pull the front of your ribs downwards, so the lower back and the ribs stay firmly attached to that floor. The more hand weights you drop, the harder that is. So if you feel that you can't keep your ribs on the mat, then don't go all the way down. Maybe only do 3/4 of the way down. Just make sure you keep that internal connection going. So if I came and poked you in the stomach when you drop those hand weights down, my fingers should just bounce off because you're really tightly engaging. Good, this is your level 1. Very happy for you. Just work on closing your rib cage. Level 2, bring the arms back up. Take another deep breath in, and on the exhale, lift 1 and then the second leg up into tabletop. Good. We're now going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to drop the arms and lift them back up again. Now it's a little bit harder to keep that lower back on the floor because of the leg position. Good. This is your level 2, a little bit harder. For a level 3, you're going to give me toe taps. So you bring one leg forward, tap the floor, and bring it back up again. Try to inhale on the way down for this one, and exhale on the way up. And really important here is that the precision is correct. So the knees are over the top of your hips, looking good. And now if you want to go crazy, you can lengthen the leg out and away. So that makes it even harder to keep that back and rib cage on the floor. But please only go into higher levels if you know what I'm talking about. So I really need you to try to keep in contact with the floor through the lower back and the ribs. You've got 4 more. So you've got 4 levels to pick from. Pick the one that suits you. Make sure you breathe out on the way up. And rest. Good job. Bring your feet on the floor again. Bring the hand weights down. Cross one leg completely over the other leg. So there is no gap in between your thighs. No gap. And then pull both of your knees towards you and hold on to your shins. And see if you can find a stretch in the bum cheek. So the leg that's closest to you, that's where you should feel the stretch. Good. Pull it diagonally across your body. So I've got my right leg here, right close to my chest. And I'm going to gently try to tease my right knee over to my left shoulder. I also shift my body weight a little bit. So you've got to try out what position you need to be in order to feel your stretches. It's a bum cheek stretch. Maybe you even need to lift your legs up a little bit more. One more deep breath. And then let go and swap over to the other side. Completely cross your legs, there's no gap, and then pull it towards you. That's my stiffer side. I can feel that stretch straight away. So if you're like that, if one side is stiffer than the other side, then that's normal. We're usually a little bit more flexible on one side than the other, but maybe you're completely even. Really pulse. I've got my left leg nice and close to me. So I'm going to try to tease my left leg, my left knee over to my right shoulder. And I'm shifting the weight over a little bit as well to see whether that makes a difference. And yes, it does. So try things out, lifting the legs, shifting, maybe twisting the legs a little bit more. That helps as well. Try to relax your shoulders in this position. And then let go. Beautiful. We're going to come on to all fours again for our last bit of our lesson tonight. Onto our knees. Good. So for a level 1, you can come into your cat-cow. That one here. And then you're going to hold it in the cow twice as long as you're holding it in the cat. That's your level 1. So bring it up into the cat. And then hold it in the extension twice as long, finding a stretch in your tummy. For a level 2, come into neutral, bring the hands much further forward. You're going to take a deep breath in, you're going to come up into a cat, come forward, drop the hips down, lift the chest up, lift the chin up, find the extension. Inhale, chin to chest, lift the hips up, come back into a cat, and then as far back into the child's pose as you want to go. So I can't go very far, but you might be able to touch your bum cheeks to your heels. And then we go again, up into a cat, nice and arched. Come forward, weight there into your shoulders, bring the hips forward, pull the shoulders back and down. Don't forget you need to pull your tummy in, feel the extension. Take a deep breath in, come back up again, arch your back, and pull it back as deep as you can. Good. Let's do that one more time. Come up into a cat. Forward into a cow and then a cobra. Open up, draw the belly in. Stay in a cat-cow if you prefer. Bring the chin to the chest, pull yourself back up into a cat. And then one last time into that child's pose. Hold it there. Drop your breastbone nice and low for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And come out of it. Shake out your wrists. And that is it for tonight, everybody. Well done. Don't go just yet. Let me turn off the recording quickly.